Good evening, my lovely kids. I'm so glad to see you again. Let me tell you a story of a beautiful little swan, which everyone called ugly at first. Listen carefully. The Ugly Duckling. It is a lovely day in spring. There is a duck family living in a farmyard. Mother Duck has 6 ducklings. 5 of them are the usual cute ducklings, but the 6th is very different from the rest. He is bigger than the rest of them, and his neck is too long. Instead of soft and yellow, his feathers are rough and grey. Instead of quacking, he honks. Instead of walking, he stumbles along the path. The next day, Mother Duck sets her kids in a line to jump into a pond to teach them swimming. 5 of them swim well, but the 6th duckling paddles up and down in the water. Watching this scene, the other ducks in the farmyard say, "Poor Mother Duck. All of her ducklings are so nice, except this one is absolutely ugly." The little duckling is very sad because he thinks that he is the ugliest among all his brothers and sisters. One day, he sees his own reflection in the water and cries, "Nobody likes me. I am so ugly." But the Mother Duck says, "No matter how he looks, let him be ugly and behave strangely. I love all my children." Then she says to the ducklings, "Now, my dears, have a good time." But the poor ugly duckling doesn't have a good time. The hens all bite him. The big ducks walk on him. The poor duckling is very sad. He doesn't want to be so ugly, but he can't help it. One day he feels so miserable that he decides to run far away and hide under some bushes. The little birds in the bushes are afraid and fly away. "It is all because I am so ugly," says the duckling. So he runs away. Late at night, he comes to an old house. The house stands alone in the forest. It looks creepy and shabby, but the wind blows so hard that the duckling decides to enter the house. He meets an old woman who lives in this house with her cat and her hen. After thinking a bit, the old woman decides to keep him. She says, "I will keep this strange bird. Maybe he will give some eggs later." The next day, the cat sees the duckling and begins to growl. The hen asks the ugly duckling, "Can you lay eggs?" The duckling says, "No, I can't." "Then keep still," says the hen. Then the cat asks, "Can you growl?" "No," says the duckling. "Then keep still," said the cat. And the duckling hides in a corner. He feels very lonely and wants to find some friends. The next day, he decides to go for a walk. He sees a big pond and starts to swim, but the other animals make fun of him as he differs so much from them. Summer comes to an end and it's getting cold. The leaves are falling from the trees. The pond where he usually swims starts to freeze. Other birds fly south. The poor little duckling has to go back to the house with the unfriendly neighbors. He has a hard time, but spring finally comes. The ugly duckling has grown up by now. His neck becomes longer, his body becomes bigger, and his legs become stronger. One day, when the water has melted in the pond, the ugly duckling goes there and sees very beautiful birds. He has never seen them before. They have the same long neck and big body. Suddenly, the ugly duckling notices his reflection in the water and sees that he also looks like these beautiful birds. The following autumn, the whole flock of swans, including the former ugly duckling, fly south. They make several circles over the farmyard, the pond, and the house. Everybody notices the beautiful flock of swans. They watch carefully and notice the ugly duckling among the swans. "Look," they say, "this is our ugly duckling. See how beautiful he is." Everyone follows the flock flying away and cannot believe that all this time they have treated him so badly. They feel very ashamed. Fortunately, this tale ended very well. What a pity that life often turns out differently, and the most beautiful things may not be seen right away. Please be kind to those around you. Sleep well, my bonnies. See you next time.